And the CIA has concluded that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, better known simply by his initials MBS, was ultimately responsible for the killing of Washington Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi. Now, in spite of this, President Trump has continued to throw his support for the prince and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in their ongoing war in neighboring Yemen. Now, here to discuss, former CIA agent turned whistleblower, John Kiriakou. John, always good to have you here.
My pleasure.
Given your experience at the CIA, how credible do you think their findings are relating to, pointing the finger at MBS?
I have a lot of criticisms of the CIA, but on this, I think the CIA is correct. And we know that because enough information has been leaked from the CIA, from the NSA, from the FBI, even from the Turkish National Intelligence Organization, the TINIO, to indicate that analysts are clear that Mohammed bin Salman ordered this execution.
And in that case, why has President Trump continued to support this young prince? I mean, I know he's always been critical of the CIA and the intelligence apparatus as a whole, but he continues to specifically support this guy.
I can think of three reasons. I'm not a psychologist, but I know that everybody knows that Donald Trump places a great premium on loyalty. The friendship, the personal friendship between MBS and the president, and MBS and Jared Kushner.
I was going to say Kushner is quite an ally.
Yeah, it's quite strong. And I think that the president likes what he likes. And Kushner is whispering in his ear that this relationship is bigger than just Jamal Khashoggi, and that we should just move on. I also think that that the president is under pressure from King Salman. We've got this long so-called special relationship with the Saudis that goes back to the Franklin Roosevelt administration. It really isn't a special relationship. It's a very simple relationship where we buy Saudi oil and the Saudis buy American weaponry. And I think that the president doesn't want to upset the boat. The third thing is he just doesn't trust his own intelligence community. He's made that crystal clear.
Do you think it's finding kind of, I want to say maybe kinship among he and MBS being attacked by the press, being attacked by intelligence apparatus?
Oh, I think so. I think you're right. I think that's a big part of it. The president is very, very sensitive to criticism.
Right.
He proves that every single day. And I think that he does feel kinship because here's a young, inexperienced crown prince who's made some terrible errors, whether it's ordering the execution of Jamal Khashoggi, a Washington Post columnist, or ordering an illegal war in Yemen.
Right.
And he's been taking it on the chin, rightfully so. I think the president actually feels sorry for him.
And Capitol Hill, though, has condemned that Saudi action in Yemen, and mostly it was highlighted, unfortunately, only due to Khashoggi's death. But Saudi Arabia seemed kind of undeterred in Yemen. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the Saudis are undeterred, and I think the only thing that might change their minds on this issue is if Congress actually does something like cut off arms sales, even if that cutoff is temporary. You know, if Congress keeps voting on non-binding resolutions, or what are called senses of the Senate, saying this Yemen thing is very bad, but then those resolutions have no teeth, nothing is going to change.
Right. I mean, apart from them going back and forth and doing the dog and pony show and criticizing the kingdom, we really haven't seen anything, like you said, that has any teeth, that is really going to make an impact on that relationship. So given that, do you see the U.S.-Saudi relationship ever changing? I mean, given, like you said, this history of patronship and salesmanship, where are we going to draw the line? I
don't think we will draw the line. I think that Donald Trump is making an assumption that is correct, that this eventually will blow over, and that there won't be enough votes on Capitol Hill to really impact the U.S.-Saudi relationship. Don't forget, Mohammed bin Salman is only 34 or 35 years old. He's going to be around for another half a century. And so I think very little is going to change over the long term.
Now, in terms of what's happening in Saudi Arabia for themselves, they've continued their practices in their treatment of women.
Oh, yes.
It hasn't changed much, although some can drive now, as I recall, if you get permission.
Yeah.
I understand.
If you get permission from a male relative.
Your elder male.
That's right.
Given that bin Salman is of this generation, Do you think that's going to change going forward, or do you think he's going to continue the patriarchy of what we've always seen?
I think these so-called reforms are all fake, to tell you the truth. Mohammed bin Salman made a big PR thing, a big PR deal about allowing women to drive. And then as soon as those women were allowed to drive, all of the women who were agitating for the right to drive were arrested. And they're still incarcerated. They have not been charged with a crime. They have not been put on trial. They're just being held. This is a country that still crucifies people as a form of the death penalty. I have a personal friend who was recently sentenced to 10 years at hard labor for participating in a peaceful pro-democracy demonstration. So no, just because he's young, just because he likes to wear Western clothes, just because he likes to go to Las Vegas and see the Beatles show, doesn't mean he's any different from any other Saudi leader.
So therefore, the U.S.-Saudi patronship will continue as far as you can see?
I believe that it will.
All right, John Kiriakou, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and insight with us, especially on the CIA topic.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.